Hi guys, so this is my first ever YouTube video. None of you will know me, well, the ones that have never met me before in some form of community or anything like that. Basically this is my first ever YouTube video. I've done a few videos to help out here and there in the groups I've been part of. I was part of one group for nearly 2 years, which was very good. It was enjoyable. It's just sometimes you get to the point where you want to just go out on your own. I wasn't actually going to start doing an educational side of the foreign exchange market in a way, but I feel like I need something else to sort of keep me occupied. You'll find that once you've gained all this knowledge and experience, and you feel like you sort of want to try and help other people. So even if I only help one or two of you by doing 20 or 30 videos, I'll be quite satisfied with that. So basically, just to start off, a little bit about me. My name's Sam. I've been trading the foreign exchange market, the Forex market, now for 3 years. I live in southern Spain. I moved here when I was 19. I'm originally from South Wales, UK, not Australia. Basically, I got caught in the whole foreign exchange excitement by finding some random person on Facebook that was showing off their wealth, basically. Like most of you here that's watching these YouTube videos, we're all going to be sort of bought into Forex for one thing and one thing only, and that is making profits or making a lot of money, okay? A lot of you have watched The Wolf of Wall Street, for example, and think, I will go out and be a full-time trader or whatever you want to do. But one thing that we all have in common is that we all like the markets. You have to enjoy the markets if you wish to sort of do this as a career. I'm going to sort of just cut this video short. I'm going to go into a more specific video in the future. The reason for this one video actually was that a lot of people have asked about how to determine a trend on a market. So although you don't really know me too much right now, I'm going to just do this video for the people that already do know me, and then I'll sort of do an introduction video midweek and explain a bit more about what Forex is. I'm going to presume though that most of you have not come across me first when you type in Forex. This is my first ever video, so I can't imagine that would be too far up in the algorithms, you know. So by the time, if you watch this or whatever, more likely than not, you guys already know a lot about Forex, so I can do this video in the future anyway. So basically my point of the video now is that I'm going to be showing you guys how to determine a trend in the market. Now everyone has different rules. It's quite a difficult part of education is how to read trends, because you'll watch one video and this guy will say, you need a 10 candle pullback or a 4 candle pullback. You'll read another guy that will say 2 candles is okay, so on and so forth. So I mean, it's quite difficult to find out who's who, because none of us will always trade the same. We're always going to be trading differently in one way or another. You guys will understand this as your education grows, that we will not always trade the same. Even if you were part of a group that's giving you signals and you start getting to the rhythm of using these signals or trading ideas, you might still come away from this group, that group or whatever, and then start saying, this isn't really for me, this is somebody else's strategy, this is someone else's way of trading, I want to do this and I want to do that, and you'll find that a lot, guys. So, as I say, I've been part of a few groups, but eventually I sort of wasn't going to go down this route, but now I feel like I want to try and help someone else, basically. A lot of people ask me, how do you do it? You know, what's this, what's that, how do you learn how to trade, and so on. Is it easy? That's the most common word. And just to quickly answer, it's not easy, nor is going to university and getting yourself a degree. Okay, that's the way you've got to look at it. Learning Forex is the same as going to university. It may take you 1, 2, 3 years, maybe even longer, just to get the educational part, and then another 2 years just to get the mindset. Okay, then you'll obviously have the consistency side of it as well. Okay, see if I can help you guys now with whatever it is that you're struggling with. You can obviously write in the comments below what video you specifically want me to do, but I think the next video I'll do is a little bit about a strategy that I've been testing and a little bit more about myself. So what we're going to do now, we're going to jump over to the charts and go through how me personally, determine a trend, which may or may not be like other traders. Okay guys, so if we jump over here now, we'll get started. Okay, so we're on the charts now. What I'm using here is TradingView. You might know the platform. If you don't, it's a perfect. I find it a very good platform, and it helps me a lot in my trading. I pay for the premium version, but there is obviously free as well. You just get like pop-ups around here sometimes, but you don't actually need to pay for it if you don't want to. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just using TradingView now to show you guys how I determine the trend. This is just my personal way of determining when a trend will go. Okay, so the first thing that you guys really need to do before learning to trade is, unfortunately, you're going to have to decide what sort of trader you are. I know a lot of people will say, you can change your mind, obviously. You can actually, say that you're a scalper, or a day trader, or a swing trader. They're different concepts and there's different things. Like a scalper will be in and out of the market at 5 to 10 pips, so the smallest of movements. A day trader will get out at the market close. A swing trader will only trade on the swings of the market, so on. And there is other traders as well. But basically, the easiest thing for you guys to do is first determine what sort of trader you are. The main reason I say this is because each person on YouTube, for example, will say different things. You need the daily to determine your trend. You need the 4 hour to determine your trend. You need the 1 hour to it's not like that. For example, a scalper who's trading maybe the 15 and 13 minute, 5 minute and 15 minute time frame will only need the 1 hour to determine its trend. Someone who's trading the 1 hour will only need the 4 hour or even daily if they wanted to determine their trend. So that'd be the day traders, the 1 hour time frame. So the best thing for you guys to really do is start off by learning which actual trader you're going to be. There's different ways for you to decide. It depends about your own emotions mainly. Your mindset and your emotions will decide for you which trader you really are. Okay, so for me, I'm more of a day trader, swing trader. Yeah, I'm more of a swing trader, to be honest with you. I'll hold trades maybe 2 to 3, maybe even 4 days, if it's going my way, as an example. Some other traders just want to get in and out of the market, so they don't have to keep looking at their phones. Another thing is that a lot of traders will say, yeah, you set a trade, you set and forget. You can't just really set and forget. The way that my rules are set, once I execute a trade, I check my phone on the hour every hour. Okay, obviously it doesn't matter if it's 20 minutes later, 15 minutes later, whatever. I just try to get as close to the hour as I possibly can, just to see if the market is going in my way. Okay, the problem with the whole set and forget idea is that you can get taken out of your trades within 2 minutes because your stop loss is too tight, or a bit of news could have taken you out, stuff like that. So the way that I see it is that checking on your trades every hour is perfect. I think that's enough, depending on what trade you are. If you're a scalper, you want to be checking really every half hour, I think, maybe even every 20 minutes, just to see where the market's going, or even every 15 minutes, so every time a candle finishes, you want to see where it's going. But for 5 pips, sometimes you could be in and out of the market within 45 seconds, sometimes, depending on what's happening, So enough of that. Let me just go on to how and what a trend is, basically, to start off with. So let me just check this up here for a second. So let me just first show you. So you've obviously got a ABC or 1, 2, 3 move, whatever way you want to look at it. You've got your push phase, you've got your swing, and then you've got another push phase. Now this will obviously be a downtrend, because what you're seeing here is you've got your market, the start of the market here, your low, your higher low, and then the market broke to make a new low, which will be down here, but it broke here, the previous low. So as it broke that previous low, you know that there's a chance of a continuation in the market. What you really want to look for then is a possible retest on that previous swing, or that first low, and maybe carry on with another market move down. Obviously this isn't really quite as easy as it looks here where I'm drawing. Okay, I'll do the same again for an uptrend. So that would obviously be a bearish move, a sell-off. This will now be a bullish. You've got your see, you've got your push phase. You then got your pullback, and then another push up. So you've got your start of the market basically, as depends what you want to call it. You've got your high, you've got your lower high, and then you've got a new high up here. Okay, so you've got a higher high. This bit is quite hard, so there's lower low, lower high, higher high, higher low. So this is quite difficult. I always get them confused, but here we are. Here's on the market structure. Now the concept of the idea of trading is that you wait for the retest and then follow it to push back through to make even another high. If every market looked like this, there would be a lot more wealthy Forex traders, because this would just be easy. 4 and 1, 2, 3. So you got your 1, you got your 2, you got your 3. You then got a break. You wait for the retest and then you follow it with a continuation. It just doesn't. It does sometimes work like this. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes it does, but not very often. So I've just picked out a random chart, GJ, pound Japanese yen, pound yen, whatever you want to call it. So I'm on the daily time frame because this is the most common way to determine a trend by the looks of it. So what I look for, my personal rules is at least 2 complete candle pullbacks. So for example, here we have a start of the market, we pulled down, you can see there's 3 candles here, so this will be a pullback, and it broke that structure here. So then you could go down to lower time frames and look for sell opportunities. Obviously now here, if I look over here, this green candle here actually smashed through with a momentum candle on the 1st of June to then determine a new trend. Okay, so now we're in an uptrend. So now all we're looking for in the lower time frames from this 1st of June 2020, we're only looking for buy opportunities, not sells, because it's broken this previous swing. Okay, because it's broke this pullback, we're only looking for buys. So it depends what your rules are. I just have the 2 candle rule. Some people have the 3, 4, 5. You can even have a 1 candle. It doesn't matter what candles you've got. Just please back test what your idea is before you decide to go ahead with it. You can demo trade as well. But basically the 2 candle pullback is very common. It's very simple. And it's very easy to understand. So let's look at this market data now. See a massive sell off here. Now you can see this actually closed. There's 1 candle here on the 23rd of June. It actually closed an indecision. That won't actually accept my rules. That won't, for me, say that that's the pullback. So at the moment it's still on its sell phase for the next 3 days. I'm not looking for any trades at this point, but then we do have now actually in very nice pullback. You can actually see that it's actually retested this very important structure here. So Japanese yen, pound yen could be a massive opportunity for sell-offs at the moment. So what I would do is that I'm looking here now on this swing. I'm going to go down to the 4-hour time frame and I'm going to see what's happening here. So the main reason why I don't actually use the daily very often anymore is that it's not enough data. I find that the 4-hour, the 1 hour gives enough data to determine a real trend. So as you can see here, we've got a push phase up to this area here. Let me just get a arrow, it'll probably be easier. So we've got a push up, pull back, another push phase to these 2 red candles, and we've got another pullback just down to here. Although these candles get very close, we've got another push up. So as you can see, we're actually in an uptrend on the 4-hour. We've got a pullback here, and now we're going back up again. But what's happened on here now on the 4-hour is that price actually broke through. So now I'm actually looking for sales. So within this area here on the last swing, in this little box area here, these 2 lines, I will be looking for sells. Okay, so as I said, when you're like determining a trend, it's actually very difficult because there's so many different rules that you can use, guys. The easiest thing for me to do really is show you my strategy in another video. But what we're looking at is previous swings, waiting for the structure to break, and then look for a continuation. That's what we're really wanting to do. I don't want to keep this video too long. So what I would do now I've got my little area here, this little black box, there's 2 little blue lines to create a box. I'm now looking for my rules to determine the sell. So as you can see here, now let's look at my favorite time frame, which is a 1 hour. It used to actually be the daily when I first started, but then I found out that the daily was just too slow for my trading. So remember when I said that you can change your mind at a later date? You're welcome to change your mind at a later date. Remember, you won't know really yourself straight away. It will come within time. So what we're wanting to do now, we want this, we're obviously pulling up here. So this would be an uptrend in this area here. But let me just get a big shape. So this would be the uptrend in this box, but now we're on a downtrend because we broke this structure lows here. Well, highs even, the structure highs here. And we've actually created a pullback to this area and started on with a momentum down. So what I'm looking for now is maybe even another retest within this structure here and looking for sells. You can also use a stochastic to say when it's oversold or overbought. Please don't just use these indicators as gospel, as the word would be. It can mean a lot of different things. It can be oversold or overbought for long periods of time, even before. You can't just say, right, the stochastic's overbought, let's sell. Stochastics oversold, let's buy. It doesn't quite work. For example, you can see here it's oversold. Okay, so this one candle will actually say it's oversold. You decide to buy, then what? This candle keeps pushing. It's still oversold. Let's buy again. Now what? It's going to keep falling down. It's keep falling down. Now, if you got into this area, yes, you've got a very nice opportunity. So you could say that what you wanted to see is a stochastic oversold and a momentum candle. Here's your green momentum candle, and yeah, you could have had a nice trade there, guys. But this is just me just spitballing, okay? That's not my strategy. I will go into my strategy in further details. What I wanted to really show you guys is how a trend works. Okay, so let me just go into another market. Let's say the pound dollar for an example, because I'm watching this now. We'll go into the daily. What we're looking at now is that I actually am saying that this will actually be an uptrend, mainly because it broke this swing here, my 2 candle pullback swing. It's actually broken that structure. I'm waiting for the retest and a push up. But for me, as I don't use the daily too much, I'm actually just going to go to the 1 hour and say that I'm looking for buys. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm looking for buys. So we'll look at here for a market structure here. We'll see a bit of structure. 1 second, sorry, let me just delete that. Let's put this here. So we can see a little bit of structure around this area here. Okay, so this is what we're looking at here. So you can see we've got multiple time frames. This candle here is broken it, but it was the close of the market. So I want to see what happens first. I'm going to wait till the market opens. Very rarely do I trade Mondays anyway. I will normally get into market Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and half a day Friday. They're my market trading days, really. If a market is going massively in my favor, I don't mind holding for the weekend, but very rarely does that actually happen. So I'm actually looking for a possibility of going long on this trade. I actually got into the trade here on this double top formation. A double top is a very common pattern in the Forex market. You'll see you got a structure here, you then retested that structure, unable to break it, and it fell. I got out of it at 124.200, so about, well, pretty much on this blue line is when I got out of it, just before the market closed on Friday night, and it was just a nice little trade I got in on. But I will go through my more personal trading at a later date, as I said, with more videos. This is just really to determine how do I read a trend. This is how I read my trend. I'm always looking for these 2 green candles, okay, or even the 4 hour. You'll see you've got 2 red candles, a push up. You've got another 1, 2, 4 candles here, but it was unable to, it didn't break this previous structure here, so it could keep pushing up. You might see the market fall to this structure, but that until it breaks here, until it breaks the 125.848, I'm only looking for buys. Okay, guys, it's a lot of information to take in, and I mean, when you look at other traders and how they determine trends, some people are better teachers than me, I guess. But basically, this is how I read a trend. As I go into more detail with my strategy, it will start making more sense. If you have any questions, or if this video was at all helpful, if you could give me a subscribe and a thumbs up, that would be brilliant, guys. I would like to keep doing my videos and make it worthwhile for other people, and maybe even help out in some form of the market and your education. So as a trader, I wanted to keep this video as short as possible. It wasn't quite as short as I wanted it, but please give it a subscribe, and in future I'll make my videos a little bit shorter and try and get in that same information. Thank you very much, and I hope you all have a good next trading week that's coming up.